If you see mud speckled all over me and wondering why, I'll get to that story later. Right now, I'm gonna get set up. I had a good story time today for you, but now I'll have two, so stay tuned. It's not very stable. So what's up, you guys? Welcome to the video. Today's intention was to travel a little bit, nice and relaxing, have some fun. And actually, I got out early and make some breakfast. Or brunch, whatever, you know. But make some breakfast burritos. But these are, I don't know, I don't think these are your typical breakfast burritos. So I'm gonna have one of my favorite breakfast meats, or I don't even know what it is. Corned beef hash. So I'm gonna make some corned beef hash, and then I'm gonna have some bacon and some egg, and I think I brought an avocado. Yeah, avocado, tortillas. I got eggs, bacon, little butter. So it's a little twist, but I drove about an hour and a half to get up here. It's a little breezy up here, but that's all right, because it is another gorgeous day. Right now it's about, actually it was 70 degrees on my way up here. But when I got up here, obviously I'm at elevation again, over 7,000 feet. So I dropped down to 58, and I think it's somewhere in mid-60s right now. And it's just before noon. But I got to tell you the story of what's been going on the last two hours. I'll get to that story in a minute. So I'm heating up the hash right now. Get that all ready. That's gonna it'll definitely take the longest. And then I've got myself a nice fresh avocado here. And I've got some bacon that I'm going to cook next to the hash. Get that all ready. Once that's ready, I'll get a couple eggs going and we'll be good to go. But so coming in here, where I'm at is that area from the last video with all the snow. Remember where it was snowing the first half of last video? And I went to the exact same spot I was. All the snow wasn't completely gone, but mostly. You know, it's just a patch here or a patch there in the shade. And I thought I was going to drive back into the trees a little bit deeper, you know, find some shade like I got here. And I could see the ground was wet. There was this big snow patch, and I didn't film any of this. None of it. I've got mud all over my legs. It's in my hair. It's on my face. It's on my arms and hands, fingernails. So there's a big tree stump and a big snowbank. And I was just going to drive right through the middle, and it was obviously wet, but it was like not. What would the equivalent of quicksand be if it's mud and not sand, or red clay? That's what it was. So I went in there, boom. I was driving just basically idling through, because what I was doing, I was trying not to make any tracks. It looked like it was like somebody had gone back in there and camped before, but I couldn't be for sure. So I didn't want to make any tracks. So I was kind of just cruising, and I just sunk. I'm like, what? It was so weird. I didn't know what was happening. So I tried to go forward a little bit, and I didn't move. And I actually looked down to see if I had kicked the car into neutral or something. We got the Land Cruiser out today. So then I tried to back up, and it didn't move. And then I'm like, what the heck? So I tried forward a little, and I wasn't spinning the tires. So I said, okay, stop. Obviously, I'm in some kind of mud, but I figured I had just gotten into some slippery stuff. So before I really floored it to get out of there, I got out and I looked, and I was sunk. It was all the way up, halfway up the wheels. I had gone down in this sinkhole on all 4 tires, and I didn't even spin the tires. So long story short, it was so bad, I had to get out the traction boards. Only 2 of them. I only used 2 because literally this far behind my rear tires was semi-dry ground. It only took me about 14 inches to drop in to this mud pit. So I have a little tiny survival shovel here. It's got 4 pieces that screw together, but the head of it is only this big. So I use this to dig out behind all the wheels. I grabbed 1 set of the traction boards and I put them in, tried it, it didn't work. I dug deeper, got them in, didn't work, dug deeper, got them in underneath the front, because I'm trying to back out, because forward looked like it was going to keep doing what it was doing. Like I said, backward I had about maybe 24 inch, maybe 2 feet at this point to get out with the back. So I only used 2 traction boards. First time in my life, in all my off-roading career, having to use traction boards. This thing doesn't have lockers. It doesn't have mud terrains. It's a heavy vehicle with, pretty small tires. It was driver error 100%. I should have walked through there because my own weight squished it down when I got out. So should have walked through there, but I didn't. That's good. There she is. I'm not gonna lie, I already ate one. I forgot to hit record. Oh my God. I didn't forget. I was talking to a camera that wasn't recording. So I just finished one. And then I'm folding the next one with the avocado, bacon, everything. That's a mouthful right there. Bacon's crunchy. Eggs are perfect. That is a hearty, hearty meal right there. I just, I had one pan, so it took a little bit longer, but it's really easy to make. I like my corned beef hash, a little crispy, have little crispy bits in it. I like my bacon crispy. So those were easy. Corned beef hash first, let it go the longest. Throw the bacon off to the side, right on the grill. Those two were done. Throw the eggs on. I had the avocado cut. Oh, I forgot. I have cheese, but I didn't put it on here. You know what? That's okay though, because this is hearty enough. You might think this is strange, but what is a breakfast burrito after all? It could be anything. It could be steak and potato. Steak, potato, and egg. It could be chorizo. It could be whatever. Really. So, corned beef hash has some kind of meat in it. It's some kind of meat. It's got little bits of potato. So I had some kind of meat, potato, bacon, egg, avocado, and Cholula. That's my go-to sauce for everything. It's really delicious. This is my second one. It's so good. Every bite, I have bacon, egg, avocado, corned beef hash, and Cholula. So, Tapatio, long time ago, I used to use Tapatio, but I don't know how long it's been. It's been a long time. It could have been 22 years ago. Could have been 22 years ago that I switched over to Cholula. So Cholula is the one with the wooden ball as the lid. It's, yeah, I like it. And I use it on everything. That's my go-to hot sauce, or, sauce. Because it's not hot. It's called hot sauce, red sauce, whatever. So, I challenge you, if you like corned beef hash, maybe you don't, maybe you've never tried it. I like corned beef hash, but I don't eat it that much. All right, it's one of those things that if you ate it a lot, it's not probably the best thing for you. It comes in a can. Mary's Kitchen, that's the brand I get, and that's the only brand I get. Mary's Kitchen brand, corned beef hash. But I tell you, I really love corned beef hash. And, sometimes if I go to breakfast or something, I'll get corned beef hash and eggs if they have it and they cook it right. But I tell you what, if you do like that, you should try this. It's way better than I thought it was going to be. I thought it would be like a mush of, it's like, I can taste everything. It's not a mush. And the bacon stayed crispy. That's really good. I might have to name this thing. I really like avocado too. And apparently, avocado is good for you. Like, it's got those, it's got some essential oils in it and fats. Now, I want to say that people who kind of subscribe to like the keto type diets and stuff, people that aren't afraid or know that having certain fats is actually really good for your body. I'm pretty sure avocado is one of those. And I like it. I like avocado, fresh avocado. This right, I have one little sliver left. This is how I eat my avocado. just like that in the morning. Maybe a little salt and pepper, but not really. It doesn't need it. If it's a good avocado, you don't really need it. So good. After getting stuck in that mud hole, oh, that's 2 burritos. If I eat 2 burritos, you know it's dang good. It's got the flavor. I didn't know what to expect. Last night, I'm like, what should I make? We had some chicken breast. We had I was thinking about doing some spicy chicken that we do with the sriracha paste. And we had some fresh asparagus. I was going to grill some asparagus. So I'm like, but you know what? I really feel like making a breakfast. That's what I really feel like doing. I actually really like making breakfast-style foods out here. It's my favorite, right? It's my favorite. If I'm in a camp with friends and stuff, if somebody wants to cook at night, good on you. But breakfast, man, I love it. I definitely cook the breakfast. That's 2 burritos and only one little bit of avocado in my hand. So, perfectly folded. That was absolutely, I'm not going to lie, that was so good. It had all the food groups in it, right? Bacon, corned beef hash, egg, avocado. No, the only thing missing was cheese, and it's in my little thing over here. I just got excited and forgot about it. Oh, that was really good. I do have a story to tell you guys, and it's involving the cars. I think it's a funny one. It's kind of like background story. So maybe I'll clean up a little bit and we'll get to story time. All right, so here's my story. If you guys remember, if you watched some of my videos, when I originally bought this as a budget build, this Land Cruiser 100 series here. Got a killer deal on it. And I love it. And then somewhere along the way, I got this wild hair going I was actually looking at 4Runners. The 03 to 09, the V8 4Runner. But it was kind of ugly. But it had a V8 in it. And then I stumbled across that Lexus. Ended up getting a Lexus. And in my mind, I called it his and hers budget overlands, right? This would be mine. And the Lexus would be from a partner, the boss. Well, to be honest with you guys, she didn't really want me to get it. She's like, that's not a good idea, you know? That's kind of like how our conversations go. No, why? You got this and you got the Jeep. I said, no, I'm getting it for you. I was and I wasn't, because I like driving different vehicles, you know? I like, off-roading and adventuring in different stuff. So she said, okay, whatever. You're going to do what you're going to do, which I did. And then she's kind of like, held a bit of a grudge about it. I'm like, hey, why don't you take the Lexus? You go in the store, take the Lexus. See, I ain't driving that. Ooh, uh-oh. So I screwed up. She wasn't happy, and she wasn't having any of it. So I went ahead and you guys saw last couple videos ago where I got it. Put the wheels and tires, I put a lift on it, and it's good to go. It's a good budget adventure vehicle. Well, it's completely different than this. It really is. Like this feels like a truck to me. You look underneath this thing's got A-arms like the Raptor does. This thing is really overbuilt. It is a big, beefy thing underneath there. And the Lexus, not so much so, right? The frame is smaller, the A-arms are smaller, everything's smaller. Lighter duty. Even though they actually have the same engine in them, the 2UZ, anyway, it's the 4.7 liter V8 in both of them. But they're geared differently. The computers are different. There's a lot of different things. So this drives like a truck or a big SUV, like a big SUV. And the Lexus drives more like a car. It's easier to park. The hood kind of dives off quicker, where this one rides out there like you're driving a Ram. And it's easier to park. There's just a lot of things going with that. So I had driven this a couple times, and I'm like, man, I really love the Land Cruiser too. And she said, okay, look, you're gonna do that to the Lexus, then I'll drive the Land Cruiser. Just don't go off-roading with it. Don't get it all covered in mud. So I haven't been using it. Well, I used it the other day, and it was super fun. And then I got her to drive the Lexus. And she's like, oh yeah, it actually is. It's pretty nimble, it's sporty, it drives like a car, it's comfortable. It's got half the mileage that this does, and it weighs a lot less, so it feels more responsive. The brakes work better. So I think that I convinced her to actually switch and to now drive the Lexus, which was kind of the original idea. And I'm back in the Land Cruiser when it comes to these budget ones. Obviously, the Jeep and that stuff is still in action. So that's it's kind of a little bit of a backstory and a conclusion to the story, that things did finally come full circle. I did finally convince her to stop, kind of poking at me and giving me grief about it. Because honestly, because I admitted to her, I'm like, you're right, I shouldn't have bought it. I probably shouldn't have bought it. I could have taken the money that I put into getting the Lexus. I could have taken all of that money and making this thing awesome. I could have lifted it and, maybe a roof rack and drawers, whatever. I could have put that money into here, which probably would have been smarter. So I told her she was right, because she was. But it's not the end of the world, right? Because the whole reason I did it was for fun. And if you can't have fun, then what is anything worth, really, to me? I've come to a point in my life where if I want to do something and it's not an absolute moronic move, and it's not going to jeopardize, good standings with your bills and all that kind of stuff, then and it's going to be fun, then I'm going to do it. And that's what I did. But I do admit that I probably shouldn't have. Because I really love this thing, and I got it for such a killer deal. I could have put that money into this, but we're here. And she likes driving that now. When I took off to come up here, I got about 10 miles from home, and I'm like, I forgot the tripod. The tripod was in the other car. Took everything out of the back. This was in the back seat. So I went back, and on my way back, I saw her going the other direction in the Lexus, just hauling butt. And then so she saw me, so I turned around, but she turned around, and then we passed each other again, and then I pulled over. She pulled up, I'm like, hey, I need the tripod. I'm like, okay. And she was out, womping around in it. So she does like it. But I think it kind of takes two, right? She was giving me grief about it, and I was kind of standing my ground. But then I admitted, I'm like, yeah, I probably shouldn't have done it. And so she goes, all right, I won't give you any more grief, and I'll drive it and try it out. And it turns out she likes it. Now, the only thing I have to do for her is to upgrade the radio, right? Because the radio was the stock one without nav and any of that. I got that on purpose because if you get the nav one, you can't upgrade it. And the heating and air conditioning controls are integrated into that head unit. So it's not that you can't, but it's a nightmare to do it. But if you get the one that's separated, where it's got the heat and air conditioning, and then it's just got the radio and a tape deck, you can pull that out. There's a place, they have a Kenwood, like a 7-inch screen that goes in there. It does, GPS navigation. It does satellite radio, and I can hook up the rear camera. So that's my story time. Things have come full circle. It's not that I'm not going to be using the Lexus anymore. I'm just going to be mixing it up and using this. The good thing, if you watch today's video, I easily got that cheap fold-up table I was talking about. It easily goes in this because there's a lot more room in the Land Cruiser than there is in that 470. Even though it's a smaller Land Cruiser by a different name, this is the bigger version, right? And there is a lot of room in this, and it's pretty cool. Plus the roof rack, the rails are a lot longer on this, which means it'll be easier if I do get an awning down the line. It'll be easier for me to mount it to this than it would be to mount it to my Lexus, because I'm not on the Lexus, I'm not putting a roof rack on. I put those kind of custom rails in there, and that's about all I'm going to do to that. All right, you guys. So that was my story time. Just that you know, Land Cruiser's back in the picture. It's been the grocery getter for a couple of months. And of course, the first time I take it, I buried in a mud hole. But I got out. I got out on my own, no winch, just shovel and those traction boards. The Lexus is still gonna be around, but not all the time. I was really excited fixing it up. I got it to where it's at. It's awesome. It's really fun on the narrower trails because it's a smaller vehicle. But this one is awesome too. And we gotta do some adventures in the Jeep. Poor old Jeep sitting back there going, "Hey, what about me, man? I started all this stuff." Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I actually tried to plan for this one with bringing out something that I'm gonna fix, and that worked out. But what I didn't plan for was being an idiot and getting stuck in the mud. Like I said, I didn't record any of that because, yeah, it was a little bit time sensitive. I felt like the thing was sinking, and I was a little frustrated. So I just wanted to get out and get over somewhere, which ended up being here, and do some cooking. And boy, was it worth it. It was delicious. Corned beef hash breakfast burritos. Try it if you don't believe me. If you dare. All right, you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.